Hi, I'm Esther,
And I'm Hester.
and we moved here in 1952 with our family, coming to Derby in a hearse. My parents brought us all the way from Kansas and raised their family between the tracks.
Yeah.
And when they were talking about the time capsule, we went to Derby School when we were young, and as Girl Scouts, we did plant or bury a time capsule in front of the Derby School and planted a tree with Mr. Earthman, who was our principal. And so talking about time capsules, I don't know if they ever unearthed that when they did the flower beds, but it's right in front of the front door. And also our family are charter members of Our Savior Lutheran Church. And on our 50th anniversary, 4 years ago, we unearthed or took out a time capsule from our church that was 50 years old and put more things in it, put the time capsule back. And as brainstorming over some of the things that we remember when we were young, I made quite a list, and I thought I'd bring out some of these. Some of you might know some of them. You want to start?
Oh, the Chuck Wagon, right on Highway 2. Sold the best French fries in town.
Little Britches.
And they had Little Britches hamburgers.
6 for $1.
Yeah. Joe's Old Shack also had hamburgers, 6 for $1. Mom would send us up. There was only 7 of us at the time, and she'd send us up with $2, and we'd go get 12 hamburgers, you know.
Did they have 2 for Tuesdays too, or something like
I
that?
don't remember that.
I don't remember that, but I remember the old guy. His name wasn't Joe, but they when they retired, I used to work at High-Low, and him and his wife used to come into the store all the time, and it was really nice to talk to him and see him all the time.
Remembering Dietrich's Cleaners, Jake's Ziegler's Phillips 66.
On
It
Highway
was
2.
on Highway 2.
And the hog farms, of course.
And remembering when they would have you put your food scraps in a bucket on the dirt street, and a truck would come by for the hog farms and pick up the salvage food to feed the hogs. Ruby's Restaurant.
Yeah, Ruby's Restaurant. Anybody remember that out of the
Rail car.
The rail car? Yeah.
On 72nd Highway 2 area, just beside the 7-Eleven.
Right where 7-Eleven is, just south of it. Yeah. And Dairy King. Does anybody remember Dairy King? Not Dairy Queen.
I remember.
Dairy
Right,
King.
right off of 72nd.
Yeah, it was Pete Merlitz, I think. She was a waitress there.
Really? Well, and Mrs. Benella was my second grade teacher. You know, I absolutely love that lady.
The DuPont Airport that's been in the Beacon, stories about it. My husband was raised right across the railroad track from it, and he and his mom were on the front porch when the airplane crashed and the pilot was killed in that, and they moved here in 1950. So he's got a lot of memories of the DuPont area.
Oh, the train depot. Does anybody remember the depot? I have not seen a picture, and over the years, I am so sick that I never got a picture of that depot.
And
We lived across the street from the depot, just catty corner from it. I still own that same property that my parents bought in 1953.
The Fina gas station down on Highway 2 that was by the Chuck Wagon. And of course, everybody remembers the Perico Liquors and the gas station in the front with
the glass bubble. Put a quarter in there and get a gallon of gas, you know. Right.
There was Biggs and Riggy's that was on each side of the high school. And the best place to go get shrimp and hamburgers was the A&W restaurant across from the high school. Heine Shoe Repair across from High-Low. Heine was there forever.
Many years.
I lived in that store.
Yeah, I know, we did too. That's when they made shoes you could repair, you know.
Wrote down about where Ace Jewelry is now. Prior to that was Kearns, but Kearns used to be across from the donut shop.
Oh, yeah. Look at there.
And there was a post office in that area and a bank. Used to be
At the
next-
other end.
Each end. Piggly Wiggly and Red Owl. We used to lay in bed and watch the pig bounce back and forth at night because it was on a flashing light.
We lived right across the street from, the bar there, Sip and Eat.
Sip and Eat.
And we could see Piggly Wiggly,
Jumping
Piggly
around.
Wiggly from our bedroom.
Ben Franklin's, the Five and Dime store. Polly Parrot shoe store. Everybody remember that? You could put your foot inside the little x-ray thing and you could see your bones.
That was cool for us, man. First time we'd ever seen an x-ray, especially of your feet,
And of course, Derby Drug, that was right off of Highway 2. Dr. Faltenberg and Dr. Marquette were in the office right next door to that.
Yep, I remember them.
The roller skating rink. How many people went to watch movies at the roller skating rink, for a quarter?
Penny Candy.
Yeah. Maddox gas station used to be up on Highway 2 and 72nd. And when we moved to Colorado, we came in this big old black hearse. It was a Packard hearse, wonderful car. First place we stopped in Commerce City was on 72nd there, and Mrs. Black met us. And Dad stopped there to get directions and gas, And we were the first, she was the first person we met in Commerce City was Mrs. Black. Wonderful lady.
Tasty Freeze.
Tasty Freeze and the Dairy Queen. The White Spot, I think it was called the White Spot. It was between the lumber store and the tire store there on 72nd and Highway 2. It was a little white, and the building's still there, and I think it was called the White Spot. We used to go in there and play the pinball machines and stuff when I was young. We had Buddy and Lloyd's, Buzzley's, Derby grocery store. My God, the Derby hat. Oh, what a symbol of our town, I remember when Mr. Jackson, the policeman, got killed on 6th and 85 and 72nd, the policeman. I think it was Derby or Commercetown then. It was many years ago.
One thing I do remember is the town of Derby put together a fair thing for the city, and the merchants of the city would put prizes on a ping pong ball, and they'd shoot it out from an air thing over all of the people that were attending. One hit the back of Lila, our twin sister, and landed in Leela's hand, and she got the big prize of $100.
Which bought us all coats for school. It did.
And I happened to get one from Al's Appliance, and I got free ice cube trays. You went to the different merchants, and they gave away gifts on these ping pong balls. So those are some of the things we kind of threw together.
Lucas Furniture too.
Oh yes,
Right. Right.
Al Hardeen's is now.
I bought my first
Junior?
radio from
I
them.
got my
Oh yes, in Sacred.
I'm sorry. I'm old and I can't hear well.
But that's some of our, just brainstorming over one evening. We wrote down some of the places that are no longer here.
Did your folks let you go across the railroad track and go down into Adams City, or were they keeping you out?
Well, we used to have to walk to high school that way, but as bringing that up, we were raised across the track, and we used to have to walk across the tracks to go to Derby School. There was rail cars, and people lived in them and worked the rails. And we were walking to school, some friends of ours.
Walking home.
I think I was walking to school. But it doesn't matter. I stepped in what I thought was white sand that they had poured out. It was hot ash, and it went inside my Saddle Oxford shoe, and I had real severe burns from that. But my mother used to let those people come over to our property to bathe and take care of themselves as they worked on the rails.
Can you tell them what your mom's name was?
My mom's name was Esther Converse, and she had all 8 of us kids here and raised us here.
Wow.